Many consider winter to be the dullest time of year for birding, but the frozen months have a special place in my heart. I know I'm in the minority when I say that I love winter birding, and I know that the birds are not particularly diverse or exciting in winter, but you've got to admire the resilience of the many tiny birds that brave freezing temperatures throughout the northern hemisphere in the non-breeding season. With next week promising temperatures in the 50s, there's no doubt that spring is rapidly approaching. That means many of my favorite winter birds will soon be headed north. So I took the opportunity on this day with a high in the 20s to enjoy the local winter birds one last time. Let's go on a winter birding adventure. I traveled to a nearby state park to give me an easy opportunity to hang out with some of my favorite winter birds. As you can see, the snow that we recently had is all but melted, but it was still quite blustery with a north wind today. It didn't take long for me to find my first winter bird of the day, dark-eyed Juncos. Juncos are perhaps the most well-known winter bird in the United States, as they are regulars at bird feeders in the winter months. Today, this group of nearly 20 was finding morsels to eat in the park's campground. These sparrows may start migrating north in the next week with the warm weather, but it's also possible that they'll linger for a while, as dark-eyed Juncos are regularly seen in northern Iowa through most of April. Whatever the case, these Juncos were getting plenty to eat today and perhaps putting on some much-needed fat ahead of their journeys north to places like northern Minnesota or Canada. The campground was a busy place today, and several nuthatches were busily searching for food. I really enjoy getting a chance to see these birds on the ground. They look very out of place as they awkwardly hop around in search of snacks. This bird looked much more natural as it picked and pried at tree bark while foraging for food. There was a lot of woodpecker activity in the campground as well. I saw a few downy woodpeckers, but they weren't in the mood to be on camera today, only offering me brief views. I detected the distinct jumbled songs of house finches in a conifer across the street from this campground. Several of the red males in this group were singing, a reminder that spring will soon be upon us. These house finches weren't doing much as I watched them. I've never seen them try to eat seeds from pine cones before, so I wondered if they'd try to do this with such scrumptious-looking cones nearby. Alas, they showed no interest in the pine cones while I watched them. I know house finches love seeds from bird feeders, but has anyone ever seen them eat pine cone seeds before? Let me know in the comments. I had the pleasure of admiring some brown creepers today. They're another winter bird that will soon be leaving much of the Midwest to breed in boreal forests. As I watched these birds, I was in awe of their camouflage. It really is incredible how well they blend into trees. Brown creepers have few predators thanks to their remarkably cryptic feathers, but adults are occasionally eaten by northern shrikes, Cooper's hawks, sharp-shinned hawks, and northern pygmy owls. I got to see one brown creeper grab what looked to be a cocoon of some sort from under some tree bark, but the bird accidentally dropped this large morsel. Unfazed, I watched in wonder as the creeper dove after the food, caught it in midair, and flew off to enjoy it. I got to end the birding outing with some tree turkeys. These chunky birds flew quite a ways up into some trees before they could have possibly detected me, so I was curious about what had spooked them. These birds soon flew off, and I continued on to make a half-hearted attempt to find the saw-whet owl from my last video. I didn't have any luck with the owl, but I got a close look at the reason why the turkeys flushed as a coyote passed by me as I stood looking for the owl. I had a blast spending a laid-back day with some of my favorite winter birds before they depart for their northbound migrations. It was fun getting to see them off, but now I'm ready to focus my attention on the early spring migrants that will soon be invading. I've got a lot of exciting content planned in the near future, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Although I didn't find my friend, the northern saw-whet owl, in this video, you can check out my last video where I walk you through how to find a saw-whet owl for yourself. Thanks for tuning in. This is Connor from WorldWideBirder, signing off.